Hi, everybody. I'd like to welcome Jean Kirazian to John. Correct me if I mispronounce your name. Jean's a well-respected Vedic astrologer from Lebanon. I've known him for quite a few years, and Jean's going to talk about. He's got about what 20 years of experience, Jean. I think it is. Okay, and I'm going to talk to let John lead the presentation, and I'll interject, but he's going to give a presentation on the upcoming eclipses and how it's going to affect the world and also various personalities in the world. Okay, Sean, you're on.
Thank you, Dr. Gary. And for those people who, I'm going to put this in my channel too. For those who don't know you on my channel, Dr. Gary Gomes was my mentor in 2007, 2006, 2008, those years when I was reading about Vedic astrology for about 6 years. So he used to help me in understanding more about the rules and these things. And Dr. Gary has an MD, and he is a part of the Saptarishi team. Maybe it is one of the most famous.
Not an MD, EDD. I can't treat people for colds or anything like that. I have a doctorate in education.
Okay.
Okay.
And he has been a teacher in Vedic Astrology Council in Great Britain, I think, and USA.
Yeah.
And he is now, I think, a part of the Saptarishi team. That is one of the most famous online magazines about Jyotish. So basically today we are going to talk about 4 eclipses this year that are happening in Aries and Libra axis. 3 of them are in this axis, and they are affecting 2 of the most important presidents in the world, that are Joe Biden and Putin. So let me go and share my screen about those presidents' birth charts. I think this year it is going to be a very controversial year. We are going to have some really dangerous decisions made by those 2 people.
And if you could share with the viewer what software you're using, Sean.
I use the Jagannatha Hora.
Okay.
I use the Pushya Paksha Ayanamsa.
So we use different Ayanamsas, but Jean's results are very good.
So Joe Biden has Scorpio Lagna, and the Lord is in the 12th house in Libra. So it is also with the 8th Lord and 11th Lord. So an eclipse there, 3 eclipses this year there, I think it is pushing him to take some dangerous decisions. By dangerous, I mean in 20th of April, we are having an eclipse. I think it's a dangerous eclipse. And as we get closer to this date, we are touching some dangerous decisions from Putin and Biden, like the last air fight that happened between them. There was a plane that Russia took down a few days ago. So it was a kind of serious. I think that as we go closer to the dates of the eclipses, we will see some more dangerous things. especially that Joe Biden is having Saturn dasha,
Yeah.
and this I think will take him to fights with other countries or foreign countries. So in the dates that are we have 3 eclipses. One of them in the 20th of April. The other one is in the 28th and 29th of October. I think those 2 eclipses will be really dangerous. So there was something about Putin too. I will just put his chart.
Yeah, there are complicating factors on those eclipses as well, which we can talk about later on too. You know, especially certain malefic aspects.
Yes. So basically, there will be some planetary conjunctions. So it's really getting dangerous, especially that Jupiter too is on this axis. So we all know that Jupiter is the protector or the giver of health, and when it is safe or in a good position, it will benefit the people, and when it is in adverse position, it will create some tensions or it will not be able to sustain the positive aspects in the world. There is also something that I said in the end of the year. I was saying on the radio, I had an interview on the radio in the end of the year. I said that the next year, in the 2023, we are going to hear a lot about the currencies, that we will have a lot of speculations, we will have a lot of analysis, and people will be afraid about the currencies. I said this because I saw that Jupiter is moving towards the axis of Libra and Aries, and there will be 3 eclipses there, and there is the aspect of Saturn from Aquarius. So and we all know that Jupiter kind of is related to the currency and the general economic system, and this started like maybe a week ago. We heard about 2 banks
Yep.
they are collapsing in the USA, and this is going further to Europe.
Yeah,
To Europe.
Credit Suisse, one of the largest
Yes.
banks in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the beginning,
Yep.
because in this year, this planetary combination is affecting this sector.
Yeah, there are
As I
actually
mentioned,
3 banks in the United States that were essentially in failed status, but that's like nitpicking. You know, it's so if you have 2 major banks, that's pretty bad. You know. So go
yes,
ahead.
yes.
I'm sorry, John.
Okay, now I'm going to share the Putin's chart. So basically, Putin has Libra ascendant with the ascendant lord in it, with Mercury, the 12th lord and 9th lord. So again, this is going to push him to I believe that he's going to take some serious and maybe crazy decisions in this year, especially around the period of 20th of April, about the time of the eclipse, and I believe around the 28th and 29th of October. I think this guy is going to take some some decisions. I have been analyzing his chart, and I always said since a year ago, maybe longer, that he has a strong chart. Putin is going, his alliances are going bigger. I said this on the radio like 2 times. In 2022, around March, I said it. Now we are witnessing him making progress, or he is expanding his alliance with the Arab world and with China. China basically was trying to be neutral with the war in Ukraine, somehow trying to be neutral, but I think around a month ago, he was able to convince them. Maybe, I don't know if we can say that, they are taking his side maybe a little bit more. And because I live in an Arab world, and I follow the politics about the Arab presidents or kings, I have noticed that the Arabs are backing Russia in his decisions, or their decisions in the oil sector. Did you notice this?
Yeah, I did. My apologies. I dropped a small hammer on the floor. That was the noise. No, anyway, it wasn't a comment. It was an accident. No, I'd agree with you. I think we're getting in the United States, we're hearing about how Ukraine is doing so well, and everywhere else I'm reading that Ukraine isn't doing so well. So I think we're seeing we're seeing the building of a coalition, a preemptive coalition around trying to counter a possible threat from NATO or the United States developing.
Dr. Gary, what is making Putin looks stronger is, I think, that unfortunately, or I'm not I'm not speaking politics here. I'm just analyzing the charts. I think
Yep.
I think comparing the chart of Biden with Putin, the United States is looking weak.
Yep.
I'm speaking about a guy who has Venus, the ascendant lord, in the ascendant, and I'm speaking about a guy that is Biden. He has the ascendant lord in the 12th house.
Yep.
So this is kind of making giving Putin an advantage.
Yep. I agree.
If it was another president, even I believe that even Trump wouldn't be able to be stronger than Putin. I think the United States needs another president, not Biden, not Trump. I think there should be another strong president to balance the things. If the United States is trying to really win this war, I'm really not in the favoring this country or that country. To me, this war should stop. Things should end in a diplomatic way, and don't encourage this for any part. But in the year 2024, Putin is having another dasha that we call Dvis Saptati dasha. So because he has the ascendant lord in the ascendant, he has this dasha activated in the year 2024. So it's Jupiter, and Jupiter is aspecting from the 7th house, the ascending lord, Venus. And I think he is growing in alliances. Basically, the 7th house will give him expansion. It will give him expansion in even allies. Things are. It seems that things are looking good for Russia and Putin.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one hope that we have right now of anything not getting further out of control might be if China manages to broker peace talks. But but I'm not sure that's going to be completely successful. So they're trying to assume a diplomatic uh, mission, which the United States should be assuming, which is bothering me personally as a United States citizen. We should be trying to broker peace, not encourage
Yes.
war. So
Yes.
but again, I'm not an expert on foreign policy, but but
Me
traditionally
too.
that's been the kind of thing that we've been involved in.
Yeah. Yes. One of the things that uh, may give hope. I'm not saying it will surely be good, but Trump was proud that he has been the first president in decades that didn't engage in wars. So he's basically saying that if he is president, this war will stop. He will stop this war. I don't know at what cost, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that something happens. Someone comes and solve this out peacefully. Yeah, a lot of people died. A lot of things are
Oh
getting
yeah.
out of control.
Oh no, it's very horrible what's happening in Ukraine. There's no question about that.
What I'm more afraid of, uh, what this indicates, those three eclipses. I think I'm afraid that things go out of hand because those eclipses they may give tendency to use some dangerous weapons. So Putin was threatening that any attack or any escalation that he will use the atomic bombs or he will use some dangerous weapons. So things looks dangerous. I hope this doesn't happen, but I think I think that people should control themselves really, really in a
Do you,
great manner because things are serious.
do you think the transit of Venus might affect Putin's decision making come April or come May, or do you think
In April, in the 20th of April, that in this date during the eclipse, Venus is in Taurus,
yeah,
so it kind of is. It's in like 17 or 18 degrees, 17 degrees Taurus. So it kind of not able to help this transition, this eclipse. I mean, this event. It
yeah,
kind of looks. Uh, Jupiter is there, but I think that Jupiter is damaged. I think that this eclipse and the presence of the planets, Rahu, Sun, Mercury, and Moon. I think it will mostly create a dangerous combination for Jupiter because if Jupiter is harmed, it means that it is unable to help the people uh, or protecting them.
yep,
So
yep,
when COVID started, 6 months before the COVID, I was seeing that Jupiter is in Capricorn. There will be Saturn conjunction. There will be Ketu also there. Mars will join them. So it was a dangerous combination. So
yep,
it's not like that, but it's really not easy, especially when in 28th and 29th October when we will have Mars and Ketu conjunction in I think in Libra.
yep.
So
I,
so
I mean, I just want to just ensure there is something positive that comes out between Venus and Jupiter conjunctions with the nodes, and that is the secrets or things that had been hidden from the public usually come out.
yes,
So that's always a positive. That could stop things at a ground level. Okay, at at a popular level.
Yes,
Let's hope there's something like that happening.
yes.
But I'd agree though that I think the forecast doesn't look good.
Basically, those are about the situation between the United States and Russia. Maybe I will move forward towards Turkey, and I will share something interesting for the Jyotish community. It is a kind of analysis that it just came to me. Uh, I will share my screen. So this is basically the independence chart of Turkey. Uh, uh, Again, last year around this time, I said that on another radio interview, I said that Turkey will start to feel unstable, and some things may start happening in Turkey by the end of the year, around September, around October, and in the early beginning of the 2023. Basically, I said this because I saw that there is an activation of the Kalachakra Dasha in the 2023. It is Sagittarius. Okay, so Jupiter is in the 6th house. That will disturb the country, especially because it is receiving the aspect of Mars, full aspect from 4th house, I mean Sagittarius, and because also we have full aspect of Saturn from the 5th house on the 7th house. So those are two strong aspects on Sagittarius. It could mean troubles with allies, troubles on the borders, instability, explosions. And I will share something really, really interesting. We all know that an earthquake happened on the 6th of February. There was something really amazing. First of all, we all know that the Lord of Sagittarius is Jupiter. If we go to the Vimshotri Dasha and look at the year 1939, there was another great and very big earthquake in Turkey, and it is kind of related to the 7th house. So in the recent modern history, Turkey had two great earthquakes, and both of them are related to Jupiter in the Dasha system. One of them in the Vimshotri Dasha, and the other in the Kalachakra Dasha. So I think whenever there is a serious affliction to the 7th house, that is the Sagittarius or Jupiter,
Yeah.
some great instability is happening, and it is kind of related to an earthquake. In the Uttara Kalamrita, there is a mention about very violent events in anything related to the 6th house. So this is a period that is changing some things in Turkey, and there is a period of like 10 years that may be related to some dangerous events, to some explosions, some disturbances in the country.
Okay, and even possibly war. That's not beyond the realm of possibility. But I
Yes,
mean, if you look at an earthquake map of Turkey or a fault line map of Turkey, there are fault lines, God,
yes,
all over the place. And it's and and also there have been a series of earthquakes in Eastern Europe over the past few years. So I think yes. So I think the I don't think it's a matter of if in Turkey. I think it's a matter of where these events will happen.
Dr. Gary, okay, please continue.
Oh no, I, I, I was just saying. I think um, just basically the just from a basic Jewish perspective, the sixth house is a house of accidents. Eighth house is a house of and K2 is also badly afflicting Turkey's fifth house of past life credit. And right around the time the major earthquake happened was when K2 was really close to Turkey's sun. So K2 plays a role in this as well, I think. But
Yes.
but just one final thought. I think there's a misconception that Jupiter can never do any harm. And that really depends on the rising sign itself, the rising sign of the country or the rising sign of the person. I've seen Jupiter do, in certain cases, it will protect. In certain cases, it makes situations worse. It's an expansive planet by nature. It's not a destructive planet, but also you want to keep in mind, especially when you're looking at things like Sagittarius Mahadasha. Sagittarius has Mula Nakshatra in it. Is really considered one of the most destructive nakshatras uh, among amongst the nakshatras. It's really it's really not evil. It's just Kali-esque. It has this very strong destructive energy about it. It can lead to better construction standards. That's the lesson connected with Jupiter. But again, that's after the damage is done.
Yes. Well, if I'm going to use the same technique about the Libra and Aries axis, those three eclipses this year, they are falling on the fifth house of Turkey that contains 4 planets.
Yeah.
I mean, the 4 grahas. We have Saturn, we have Venus, we have Mercury, and we have the Sun. So this is definitely going to affect a lot of things in Turkey. And I'm just going to mention this, and I'm not quite sure about it, but even the media in Turkey mentioned this, and I know it may sound like a conspiracy theory, but if we analyze the 7th house, it is the house of allies. So the 7th house falling in the 6th house, I'm not definitely saying it, but it could mean that a damage or a harm may be related to an ally. There could be damaging relationships with allies. The allies may damage Turkey, and as soon as the earthquake happened, 2 days later we saw the media in Turkey speaking about the HARP technology. Did you hear about it?
No, I didn't hear it. No, I didn't hear about that.
Some people claim that this earthquake was made on purpose by the United States with the technology called HARP.
I've heard about the HARP technology, but I didn't know it. I don't know what it's capable of doing.
Some people are claiming, I'm not definitely saying it is like this, but some people are claiming that three countries in the world, one of them is the United States, Russia, and China, are capable of creating earthquakes by this technology. And because this technology is forcing an earthquake, some people explained, like 3 years ago, I heard and I watched people explaining about this technology, that when the earthquake is going to happen, few minutes before the earthquake, there will be some lightnings in the sky without sounds, only lightnings.
Wow,
So in
interesting.
Turkey, we saw videos about this. A lot of people shared videos about some lightning without sounds. I'm not saying this is definitely something someone did it, but the combination of the seventh lord in the sixth house with this great malefic aspects from Mars and Saturn is kind of giving some hints that the relationship with the allies may not be as it seems, and it's not very healthy.
Well, just to amplify, just to add on a little bit to what you said. So I don't know about the harp or the United States harboring ill feelings towards Turkey, but I do know that Turkey just so there's another way this may manifest. Turkey just endorsed Finland's entry into NATO, and that could that could also be a manifestation of them getting in trouble with Russia because they've endorsed a
You read
nation
my
which is
mind.
right in, yeah, a nation which
You
is right
read
in,
my mind.
yeah.
You read my mind because 2-3 days ago I was analyzing this comment of the president of Turkey that he will accept Finland's and Sweden's
Yeah,
endorsement to the NATO. So I said maybe he got the message.
yeah. So
So
that could have been a push. You know, it's possible it could have been a push. I think the thing about harp technology is it's not really you know, so we've had some shows on in the United States about that, but they've really been relegated to sort of like, as you said, conspiracy theory. So it's not really something that you could put your finger on and say, oh, they're using this technology, um, and in order to force people to take a position. It's possible. Anything's possible, you know. But 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 I think Finland, the acceptance of Finland also kind of puts them in that position as well. That is, they'll get into trouble by supporting an ally.
yes.
Yeah. So it's fascinating. I haven't heard about the harp technology for a few years, and it's funny because I was watching Jesse Ventura on TV a few days ago, and he did a show on the harp technology a few years ago.
Uh, I think that whatever they show us in the media about some technology, to them, it is already an old technology.
Yeah.
They will only show us what is old. I think they are working on a lot of more sophisticated and advanced technologies, but we just don't know about them.
Oh yeah,
If they
sure.
spoke about HARP, if they spoke about it, to them, I'm sure it's an old technology.
Yeah.
Now we have another country that is Azerbaijan, and we all know that 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it started some aggression about with Armenia, my motherland, my mother country. So I'm not really saying I'm not really going to talk about Azerbaijan in a negative way, or I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what the math is. Azerbaijan, what I found about this country, this is the most reliable date of the independence of this country. Uh, it is again, it has Libra ascendant, and it has the 10th Lord in the 7th house. That's why it has a lot of actions outside the border. It has a lot of desires to go outside its original borders. And if you look at this chart, you will find 4 grahas in the 11th house. It has strong desires.
Mhm.
This is a country of strong desires, and we all know that the 11th house has some worldly desires, and those 3 eclipses are again affecting this country, and it may also give some dangerous or war-like tendencies in this year, especially around the eclipses. That is again about around the 20th of April and 5th and 6th of May. And the other date is around 28th and 29th of October. I think those dates we may see some dangerous moves by this country.
Yeah. And I don't know a whole heck of a lot about Azerbaijan, so I'll bow to your knowledge about it.
We have 2 more people. We will talk about them. One of them is Bill Gates. The other one is David Icke. I will start with Bill Gates. This year, he has those eclipses are falling on his 4th house. In the 4th house, there is the 7th Lord, the 4th Lord, and the 2nd Lord.
Yeah.
So basically, we may hear something that may disturb his public image about things related to his house, his wife, and his there could be something related to his sexual affairs. Things may escalate in the media. People may speak about it more in this coming year, especially around the eclipses. And he has also Rahu that is going to be activated in around August or September this year. Rahu is in the 5th house in Scorpio. I think that when this is going to be active, people will have a lot of weird ideas about him, and he will share some weird ideas to the world. I think he will share some revolutionary ideas that may look to some dangerous. People may accuse him more about some conspiracy theories, like he had with the vaccines or some other things. So basically, it will create some something smoky about him, something that people may not be sure what he is doing, or people may think that he is creating some dangerous or bad inventions. This is my opinion about the coming period.
Well, if I can interject just for a second, John, that um, that position's been held by a significant number of people for a few years now. It's not a majority of people by any stretch of the imagination, but there has been. I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase this without sounding like a right winger. There has been some concern about the degree of power he has and the lack of accountability he has, and also what his foundation is actually doing is, essentially there have been reports coming out that he made money from the pandemic. That his foundation actually made money, actually turned a profit from the pandemic. So that suspicion is already out there. It's not widely held. It's not widely discussed, but it is already out there. The other thing is the Epstein case. His reputation has been tarnished just because of his association with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't know what happened, with him in that particular relationship, but it seems like there was a discussion with his ex-wife about Epstein, what Epstein, and she wouldn't comment on it. So that could be anything, to be honest. Uh, but but like but as I said, he he is starting to come under increasing scrutiny, and some people will believe it's because there's a right-wing agenda that's out to get him. I think really, if you look at the history of Gates is a fantastic businessman, but he also was a fairly unscrupulous one. Now a lot of successful
Yes.
business people have to be unscrupulous. But he was under investigation for antitrust in the late 1980s, early 1990s, I think. And so again, there's always this little kind of admiration mixed with apprehension that's been around this character. The same is true of Elon Musk, to be honest with you. I'm not just singling out Bill Gates. The same is true of Elon Musk, but it's catching up with him. It's becoming more and more prevalent. Let's put it that way with Bill Gates.
I don't have Elon Musk's right hour of birth.
No, nobody
I
does.
couldn't really find it. Yes,
Nobody
so
does.
that in itself is a question mark. Why
Yeah.
we don't have his
Yeah,
hour of
yeah.
birth.
I was just mentioning him just to essentially balance the scales. It wasn't from an astrological analysis.
I think in the next year, things about Bill Gates, some negative image about him may escalate because of the Rahu Dasha, but this doesn't mean that it will greatly affect him, because I think in the year 2024 he has Moon Dasha, Cancer, in the ninth house in Pisces, so that is good. It has Gurika. It may affect him. It may not be totally well. It has some bad aspects from Saturn. It is creating something good for him. He may have new inventions. People may talk good about him, but the Rahu Dasha in the Vimshottari Dasha is creating some spooky characteristics about him or descriptions. I just want to mention something about Bill Gates when the COVID started. Before the COVID started, there was an event called 201 event. It was made by his organization. It was totally about COVID. If people try to search about it, the event 201, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they will see that this organization brought media members, politicians. They were actors. They were making something like, what if a virus we had a virus outbreak. This was made in October 2019.
Yep.
Like 3 or 4 months before the real event started. It was the same as if we are having the real COVID. It was in an institution, and they had it like it was real. Everything was real. Some they even spoke about the vaccines. Some people supported the vaccines. Some people didn't support it. So I don't know. I think that the next year something about him may go in the media more widely about
Yeah.
him.
And he's been interested in viruses or viral epidemics for a few years now. This isn't a new thing with him. Um, but again, the timing is suspicious but inconclusive. It's
Yes, yes,
but but it is kind of weird. I'd agree. Could just be coincidence. You never know.
yes. It could be.
Yeah.
I think this sums up about Bill Gates. We will speak about David Icke.
Yeah.
So David Icke, again, he has Libra ascendant with Mars in it. This is the best I took. He has started from 2017, around 2017. His Libra was activated in the Dasha, Kalachakra Dasha. Again, he is in the Venus Dasha in Vimshotri. So he has.
Now we should give some background for David Icke for those who aren't familiar with him.
David Icke, could you explain about him? Or
Yeah, sure. Basically, he was a very highly regarded and well-known newscaster, or sportscaster in England and the UK. And then around, I can't remember the exact date, but around maybe around the late 1990s, early 2000s, he started coming out with the idea that lizard people were prevalent in the earth, and they were controlling things. So he's just an interesting personality. So some people consider him to be nuts. Some people consider him to be prophetic. But it's but he but he has a very but like I said, he went from being a very extremely high regarded and extremely highly paid announcer in British sports to these really, I'm going to say it flat out, these really far out theories about lizard people dominating the world. Okay, so that's
basically, he has an extreme mind for conspiracy theories.
yeah.
To some extent, some people may call him crazy because he has some really wide ideas about how the world is being run. Like you said, that he believes that some reptilians are ruling the planet. To me, if I don't have an evidence, I won't believe it. Something out of human hands may be possible, but I just don't have enough evidence about it. But this year, it is a really great coincidence that those 3 eclipses again are being made on his ascending axis on Libra and Aries. Mars is there, and it's the 2nd and 7th lord, maybe Maraka lords. He could be in some really danger. There could be some dangerous events surrounding the periods where the eclipses are happening. These eclipses are affecting again 4 planets. One of them is 4 grahas. One of them is the Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, and one of them is the Lagna Lord. To me, this is something that I would worry about in this period. Again, he has Rahu, like Bill Gates, at around the same time. He has Rahu Dasha being activated in Dvi Saptati Dasha. So it is again in the 5th house that seems to be creating some another level of extreme wide ideas or conspiracies. So there is something similar to what is happening to Bill Gates. People may think very wild about him. People may think he is really going to the extreme, and another extreme, maybe more than what he is already in it. I really also think that he may be facing some dangers. So basically this is about David Icke this year.
Now,
If
John, do you
you could
think?
say something about him.
Well, I just want to ask you, Rahu's, I believe, in his 5th house, right?
Yes.
Right. So, do you think that could give some additional fame or some additional followers to him as well?
Yes, because I think well this is I think this is it has 2 aspects. One, on the one side, yes, I think it can give him that because he is already on that line, because he has Jupiter and Venus near his Sun in the 7th house, and he has this desire because the Sun is the 11th Lord, and he has this desire to be famous and to work with the great mass, with a lot of people. But in the same time, Rahu's dispositor is in the 12th house, and
Yep.
it is in Virgo. So something dramatic may happen. This is why I'm saying that this dasha combined with the eclipses this year may give him fame, but that may be at some cost. There could be some dangerous cost about his extra fame, or his new ideas, his new extreme, wild, scary theories, maybe.
So maybe some danger of assassination, somebody trying to, I'm just speculating right now, maybe some danger of assassination or death.
That is really possible, because we have the 7th and 2nd lords. There's an eclipse on this axis, so Mars in the ascendant, it will naturally create some dangers from fire. In the classical view, it could be a weapon. So it is really possible.
Yeah. And I think K2 in the 1st doesn't really help him out. K2 transiting over the 1st doesn't really help him out all that much
Yes.
as well. So that's no, but I think he's a fascinating individual. I think I'm going to be honest. I find him to be, you know, I think one of the reasons that people who even listen to him is because he's a really excellent speaker. He's got good presentation skills, but he's a professional. and but I also saw some of the documentaries that first came out when he first appeared, and it was just they were just I I I, I don't want to sugarcoat it. They were just crazy. They were just bizarre. But again, that doesn't mean that people won't follow it. People have been showing themselves more and more susceptible to conspiracy theories over the past few years. This may be his time. But it's such a bizarre theory. You know, it's really such a bizarre theory. But hey, as we love to say in this world, anything's possible. It, it looks unlikely to me, but anything's possible. But he is an interesting character. Really is interesting person.
Yes. To me personally, I don't mind believing or suspecting that there are really aliens, but I just don't have proof that they are reptilians or they are really now here or something like that. In ancient histories, there has been a lot of mentioning about some people who came from the sky. In
Yeah.
the Sumerian tablets, it is mentioned. In the Bible, it is mentioned. Uh, there has
Oh,
been some.
well, you have the Nagas in India. The Naga people were serpent
Yes,
people in India. You know,
yes. There has been some mentioning in the Native Americans that they had some poets or some things that they used to talk about that it used to mention that those who came from the sky. So in the ancient traditions or the cultures, we had these ideas. I don't really mind thinking about this subject, but to me, the reptilian race here now it's a bit extreme if I don't have a proof about it.
yeah. I hear you. All right. Do you have anything else to share with us for the eclipses for 2023?
Basically this is it. I hope uh, I hope this was good for the Jyotish community and for those people who are trying to know what is going to happen in this year. Uh,
Well,
Basically,
I think it was excellent, John. Thank you very much. I really
thank you,
appreciate it. I always enjoy spending time with
thank you,
you. All right. Thank you very much, my friend, and
thank you.
and and all the blessings of the world upon you. Okay.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll sign off here, and it's kind of a clumsy ending, but John will be back again. Hopefully, this will post to Saptarishi Astrology as well as to our individual pages. And we'll and we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, but keep up the
Yes,
great work, John.
thank you.
All right, terrific. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, I'm going to sign off and say bye now.